You were not built for comfort. You were not built to scroll, consume, complain, repeat. You were built for war. Not the kind with weapons and smoke, the kind inside your chest. The kind that wakes you up at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, feeling like you're meant for something heavier. You feel it, don't you? That pressure, that restlessness, that quiet anger, that voice that says, "This isn't it." And instead of listening to it, you sedate it. You drown it in distractions. You call it stress. You call it anxiety. No, it's your potential suffocating. You weren't built for comfort. Comfort is a cage with soft pillows. It doesn't look like a prison. It feels warm. It feels safe. That's why it's dangerous. Comfort doesn't attack you. It convinces you. It whispers, "You deserve to relax." It whispers, "Tomorrow is fine." It whispers, "You've done enough." Enough! Enough for what? Enough to stay average? Enough to blend in? Enough to die with unused power inside you? There is a version of you that is terrifying, disciplined, focused, unemotional when it comes to excuses. That version doesn't negotiate with weakness. That version doesn't wait for motivation. That version moves even when tired, especially when tired. And you know what's scary? That version is real. It's not fantasy. It's not hype. It's buried under layers of comfort you chose. Every time you hit snooze, every time you avoided the hard conversation, every time you said later, you fed comfort, you starved war. War is clarity. War is commitment. War is waking up and deciding your future is more important than your mood. The world respects one thing, dominance. Not loud dominance, not fake alpha energy, real dominance. The kind that comes from discipline, the kind that comes from control. Control over your time, control over your body, control over your reactions, control over your mind. Because if you cannot dominate your mind, you will be dominated by everything else. Social media, fear, doubt, other people's opinions. You will be controlled by invisible strings and call it life. That's not life. That's surrender. You say you want more. More money, more respect, more status, more peace, but your habits scream comfort. Your routines scream average. Your standards whisper weakness. You cannot demand a powerful life while living a passive routine. That's delusion. And deep down, you know it. That's why this hits. That's why it burns a little. Because part of you is tired of being handled gently. You don't want soft encouragement. You want truth. So here it is. You are not behind because life is unfair. You are behind because you have not gone to war with yourself. War means sacrifice. War means discipline when no one is watching. War means building when others are sleeping. War means choosing long-term power over short-term pleasure. And don't misunderstand me, this isn't about destroying yourself. It's about forging yourself. Steel is not formed in comfort. It is formed under pressure. You want to dominate? Then stop trying to feel ready. Stop trying to feel confident. Stop trying to feel inspired. Those feelings follow action. They do not lead it. Action leads. Execution leads. Movement leads. Confidence is a byproduct. Strength is a byproduct. Respect is a byproduct. Right now, you're negotiating with weakness like it deserves equal rights. It doesn't. Weakness should not get a vote. When your alarm rings, there is no debate. When your body says it's tired, you measure it against your mission. When fear whispers, you move forward anyway. That's war. And don't romanticize it. It's not pretty. It's not glamorous. Some days it's boring. Some days it's repetitive. Some days it's exhausting. But repetition builds monsters. Consistency builds dominance. You think greatness is dramatic? No. Greatness is boring done relentlessly.
Look at your life honestly. Are you training your mind daily? Or are you entertaining it? Are you building skills? Or are you building excuses? Are you sharpening discipline? Or are you sharpening complaints? Inhale deeply. You were built for pressure. Your body adapts to resistance. Your mind adapts to challenge. That heavy feeling you avoid, that's growth knocking. But you keep pretending you don't hear it. And let's talk about fear. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a gatekeeper. It stands in front of growth and asks one question. Are you serious? Most people turn around. They say, maybe later. They say, I'm not ready. They say, what if I fail? Low laugh. Fail. You're already failing by not moving. At least fail forward. At least fail violently trying. At least build scars you earned. Because regret is heavier than failure. Regret lingers. Failure teaches. You weren't built for comfort. You were built to adapt, to fight, to evolve. The human system is engineered for challenge. Muscles grow under tension. Minds grow under stress. Character grows under responsibility. Remove challenge and you decay. That's biology. That's reality. Comfort feels good short term, but long term, it weakens you. And a weak mind cannot carry a powerful future. There is a moment coming in your life when everything will demand more from you. More strength, more clarity, more leadership, more resilience. And if you train in comfort, you will collapse under pressure. But if you train in war, pressure becomes familiar, chaos becomes manageable. You don't panic, you execute. Exhale slowly. That's dominance. Calm in chaos, focus in noise, precision under stress. Stop waiting to be forced into discipline by pain. Choose discipline before pain chooses you, because life will test you either way. The only difference is whether you are prepared. You think you have time to drift? You don't. Every year you repeat weak patterns, they solidify. Habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. If you continue choosing comfort, you will become a comfortable person. And comfortable people do not dominate. They adapt downward. This isn't about being aggressive toward others. It's about being relentless toward yourself. Raise your standards. Raise your expectations. Raise your output. Stop rewarding yourself for basic tasks. Stop celebrating mediocrity. Stop acting surprised when discipline works. Of course it works. It always works. It's just hard. And you've been avoiding hard. Listen carefully. The world does not hand power to those who ask politely. It hands power to those who prove capacity. Capacity is built in discomfort. Capacity is built in repetition. Capacity is built in sacrifice. You don't rise to your desires. You fall to your standards. So what are your standards? Really? Are they high enough to scare the old version of you? You feel that fire right now. Good. Don't waste it. Channel it. Direct it. Build structure around it. Anger without structure is chaos. Intensity without discipline is burnout. War without strategy is self-destruction. So if you're going to declare war on comfort, do it intelligently. Build routines, build systems, build accountability, turn emotion into execution. You want to dominate? Start by dominating your morning, your schedule, your diet, your focus. Small dominations compound into massive authority. Control the small things, and the big things start responding. That's how power is built. Not overnight, not magically, brick by brick, day by day, relentlessly. Quiet, exhale. You were built for war, not endless scrolling, not excuses, not passive living. There is something inside you that refuses to settle, that refuses to shrink, that refuses to stay average. Feed that, starve comfort, and understand this: nobody is coming to flip the switch for you. Nobody is going to crown you disciplined. Nobody is going to anoint you powerful. You either decide or you decay. And this is your decision point.
You think this is about hype? No. This is about identity. This is about the silent war happening inside you every single day. Every morning you wake up and there's a battle. One voice says stay comfortable, the other says move. One says rest, the other says build. One says later, the other says now. And most days, you let the weaker voice win. Not because you're incapable, but because you've trained it, you've fed it, you've rewarded it. You don't become weak overnight. You become weak by repetition, by small surrenders, by tiny negotiations that feel harmless. Just 5 more minutes, just one more episode, just one more scroll. That's how empires collapse, not with explosions, with comfort. You were built for war, not physical war, mental war. War against excuses, war against laziness, war against distraction. And here's the truth that stings. The world is not waiting for you to become ready. It is moving. It is evolving. It is competing. While you hesitate, someone else is executing. While you doubt, someone else is building. While you overthink, someone else is dominating. And you call it luck, you call it talent, you call it timing. No, it's war mentality. It's discipline under pressure. Right now, your biggest enemy is not another person. It's the comfortable version of you. The version that wants praise without proof. The version that wants success without sacrifice. The version that wants dominance without discipline. That version is seductive. It sounds reasonable. It sounds balanced. It sounds safe. But safety has never built legends. Safety has never created power. Safety has never commanded respect. It has only created average. You say you want to dominate. Good. Then dominate your impulses. When you want to quit, stay. When you want to complain, execute. When you want validation, improve. That's domination. Not loud talking, not flexing, not posting quotes. Real domination is invisible. It's the grind no one sees. It's the reps no one applauds. It's the focus when your brain begs for distraction. You think warriors are motivated every day? No, they are committed every day. Commitment is heavy. It requires sacrifice. It requires missing out. It requires silence when others are celebrating mediocrity. It requires being misunderstood. It requires being alone sometimes. And that's where most people fold. They don't fear hard work. They fear isolation. They fear being different. They fear standing out. So they shrink. They blend. They adapt downward. But you feel something else. You feel that tension when you're wasting time. You feel that anger when you see your potential slipping. You feel that frustration when you know you could have done more. That's not weakness. That's awareness. That's your higher standard knocking. And every time you ignore it, it gets louder. Every time you silence it, it turns into regret. Regret is quiet at first. It whispers. You could have tried. You should have started. Why didn't you push? Then it grows. It becomes heavy. It becomes permanent. And one day you wake up and realize you didn't lose because you lacked ability. You lost because you lacked ruthlessness. Ruthlessness towards your own excuses. Ruthlessness toward procrastination. Ruthlessness toward comfort. You want to know why most people never dominate? Because domination requires consistency under boredom. It's not dramatic. It's not cinematic every day. It's repetitive. It's routine. It's discipline when nothing exciting is happening. And boredom kills weak ambition. Ugh. People crave intensity but avoid repetition. They want transformation but avoid process. They want results but avoid systems.
Systems win wars, not emotion, not hype. Not temporary motivation. You need structure so strong that even when your mind resists, your routine carries you forward. You need standards so high that your old habits feel unacceptable. You need clarity so sharp that distractions feel like insults. Look at your current habits. Be honest. Are they built for war, or are they built for comfort? Do you train your body like it matters? Do you train your mind like it matters? Do you guard your time like it matters? Or do you give it away freely to anything that entertains you? You cannot dominate the world if you cannot dominate your screen time. War requires focus. Focus requires sacrifice. Sacrifice requires vision. If you don't know exactly what you're building, you will fall back into comfort. That's why clarity is power. When you know what you want, distractions become obvious. When you know your mission, excuses sound ridiculous. I'm tired. Good. Be tired and execute. I'm not in the mood. Mood is irrelevant. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie comfort sells you. You think domination is about aggression toward others? No. It's about control over self, control over reaction, control over emotion, control over time. When pressure hits, do you panic or perform? When chaos appears, do you freeze or focus? That's the difference. That's the separator. You were built to adapt under pressure. Your body responds to resistance. Your mind sharpens under challenge. But only if you expose it to challenge. Only if you stop hiding from discomfort. You don't grow by staying safe. You grow by confronting weakness directly, by attacking it, by removing its influence piece by piece. And here's something brutal. No one is coming to rescue your potential. No one is coming to unlock your discipline. No one is coming to demand greatness from you. You either demand it from yourself, or it dies quietly. And potential that dies quietly turns into bitterness. You see it everywhere. People who once had dreams now criticize those who chase them. People who once had fire now mock ambition. That's what comfort does long term. It turns hunger into sarcasm. It turns drive into cynicism. Do not become that. Do not allow your edge to dull. Sharpen it daily. Sharpen it through action, through discipline, through repetition, through consistency that borders obsession. Yes, obsession. The world calls it unhealthy until it produces results. Then it calls it dedication. You want to dominate? Then stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for approval. Stop measuring your effort against average standards. Raise your baseline. Raise your expectations. Raise your execution speed. Move faster, decide quicker, act sooner. Hesitation feeds comfort, action feeds power. Right now, somewhere in your life, there is a decision you've been postponing, a habit you need to cut, a standard you need to raise, a move you need to make. And you keep delaying it because it feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is the doorway. That resistance is the sign. That fear is the signal. War is not about chaos. It's about precision. It's about discipline under fire. It's about staying calm when your instincts scream retreat. You are stronger than your impulses. You are sharper than your excuses. You are more capable than your doubts suggest. Stop playing small to feel safe. Stop dimming intensity to fit in. Stop acting confused when you know exactly what needs to be done. Deep down, you know. You know the habits that are killing you. You know the patterns that are stalling you. You know the conversations you're avoiding. You know the work you're postponing. That knowledge is responsibility. Domination begins when excuses end, when negotiation stops, when standards rise permanently, not temporarily, permanently. Not just when you feel inspired, not just when you feel angry. Every day, relentless. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing the layers that weakened you. The discipline is already inside. The focus is already inside. The strength is already inside. It's buried under comfort, under distraction, under fear. Remove it. Attack it. Eliminate it. And build something so disciplined, so focused, so controlled, that comfort no longer recognizes you. You were built for war, not comfort. And war does not wait.
There comes a moment when talking stops, when motivation stops, when hype stops. And all that remains is decision. You've heard the truth. You've felt the fire. You've seen the weakness. Now the question is simple. Who are you going to be? Because comfort is still there, waiting, patient, smiling. It knows your patterns. It knows your triggers. It knows exactly when you're tired, when you're emotional, when you're doubtful. And it will come back. Not loud, not dramatic, soft, reasonable, logical. You've done enough. Take it easy. You deserve a break. And that is where warriors are separated from spectators. You don't win the war once, you win it daily. You win it when nobody is watching. You win it when your body feels heavy and your mind feels cloudy. You win it when results are slow. You win it when effort feels invisible. That's where most people break. Not at the beginning, not at the hype, but in the silence, in the repetition, in the slow grind where nothing feels cinematic. But understand this, the grind is the transformation. The boredom is the forge. The repetition is the sharpening. You don't become dominant in dramatic moments. You become dominant in disciplined ones. Right now, somewhere inside you there is hesitation. A small voice asking, can I really do this? Let me answer that for you. Yes, but not the way you think. Not through emotion. Not through temporary inspiration. Through structure. Through ruthless standards. Through eliminating the option to quit. You keep giving yourself escape routes. That's the problem. You leave doors open for comfort. You tell yourself, if it gets too hard, I can stop. And your mind remembers that. It uses it. Close the doors. Burn the alternatives. Decide that the weaker version of you no longer has permission to lead. You want to dominate? Then stop flirting with average. Stop negotiating with mediocrity. Stop treating discipline like it's optional. Discipline is oxygen for power. Without it, your ambition suffocates. Look at your past honestly. How many times did you start strong and fade? How many times did you promise change and slip back? That pattern isn't random. It's identity. You haven't fully shifted identity. You still see yourself as someone who tries, someone who hopes, someone who wants. You don't dominate by wanting. You dominate by becoming. Becoming is violent. It requires killing habits, killing excuses, killing the comfort addiction. And yes, addiction. Because that's what it is. You are addicted to ease. Addicted to stimulation. Addicted to distraction. And addiction always fights back when you remove it. That's why discipline feels uncomfortable at first. That's why focus feels painful. That's why silence feels loud. Push through that phase. On the other side of that discomfort is clarity. On the other side is control. On the other side is power. You think dominance is about crushing others. It's not. It's about mastering self so complete. Most people live reactive lives. They react to emotions, react to circumstances, react to opinions. You decide. You act. You move first. Decision is power. Indecision is decay. Every time you hesitate on something you know you must do, you weaken trust in yourself. And self-trust is everything. When you don't trust yourself, you second-guess everything. When you trust yourself, you move without noise. Build self-trust through kept promises, small promises, daily promises. Wake up when you said you would. Train when you said you would. Work when you said you would. No applause. No announcement. Just execution. That's how dominance grows. There will be days you want to quit. Days when progress feels slow. Days when comparison creeps in. Days when you question your path. Good. That means you're in the arena. That means you're growing. Ugh. The comfortable version of you never felt that tension. It never risked enough to feel doubt. Doubt is a sign you're stretching. Stretch further. Push harder. Refine sharper. Do not let temporary emotions override permanent goals. You are not fragile. Stop acting like it. You are not incapable. Stop behaving like it. You are not confused. You know what needs to be done. The plan is not the issue. The execution is. So execute. Execute when tired. Execute when bored. Execute when unmotivated. Execute when alone. Because that's when it counts. Right now, imagine the future version of you. The disciplined one. The focused one. The one who no longer tolerates weakness. That version exists. It's not fantasy. It's a decision repeated long enough to become identity. Every action you take either feeds that version or feeds the weaker one. Choose carefully. Time is not slowing down. Opportunities are not waiting forever. Energy does not stay unlimited. Use it. Direct it. Control it. Ugh. War is not chaos. It is intention under pressure. And pressure will come whether you train for it or not. Financial pressure. Responsibility pressure. Family pressure. Health pressure. If you build strength now, pressure becomes fuel. If you stay comfortable, pressure becomes collapse. Which one do you choose? You already know. Stop searching for more videos. Stop collecting motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect mood. This is it. This is the moment. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just real. A quiet decision that shifts everything. From this point forward, comfort is no longer your default. Discipline is. Focus is. Execution is. You were built for war, not comfort. And war rewards those who show up daily. No applause. No shortcuts. No excuses. Just relentless forward movement. Stand up mentally. Raise your standard permanently. Cut what weakens you. Build what strengthens you. Repeat again, again, again. Until domination is not an act. It's your identity. Exhale slowly. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming what you were supposed to be before comfort convinced you otherwise. And now, you decide.